Alright, hey, what is going on guys? Gage Grizzly here, and we are back with another New World video. And in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to tank the last boss in the new Empyrean Forge expedition that just came out with this recent update. This is going to be at M6, we're up to M9 right now. We're going to try to push to M10 probably today. But I just wanted to show you guys because we've been flying through it pretty easy. We've had some hiccups here and there, but honestly, it all just comes down to your team. The boss is very mechanic heavy and you have to be able to time your dodges and your cooldowns. I'm going to go over my build as well in this video because I've changed up a few things in light with the recent update. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, first we're going to go into my sword and shield build. Now this hasn't changed much, but it has changed slightly. So one of the biggest changes is I used to only take 1 point in shield rush, but now I've taken the improved rush. It used to be a 10% weaken, now it's a 20% weaken. People still running spear in expeditions is good, so if you have people run spear, if you really want to, you can take this point off and either put it in final blow, or you can put it in with one with the shield. You're going to be holding your shield a lot on the last boss, so this is a good perk to have as well as this. So totally up to you, but everything else is pretty much unchanged. Defender's Resolve, obviously your main taunt, and then I have a reverse stab for the extra cooldown, so that really helps as well. And then the main perk, Leadership, is awesome to have for your team. I don't really like defensive formation because I feel like either people aren't close enough because they're ranged, especially in this expedition, or you know, when you're doing clumps of mobs, most of the time you're attacking anyway and doing your cooldowns, so it's kind of a waste of a skill, to be honest. It's a strong skill when used, but I don't see it being used as much as the range is so small in it, and I don't think it's a good skill to have over Leadership, which gives you 10% damage increase. All right, and this is my Warhammer tree. I've been using Clear Out recently a lot more. I used it in the last update towards the end, but the 10% Fortify and the knockdown in Mutations is honestly, it helps a lot. You can rotate these three crowd control skills really well, and it's a lot of CC for your team. In expeditions, especially Mutations, the mob types are elite, so instead of knocking back formators, it just knocks them down. So Clear Out becomes another really good CC ability. Plus it gives your team Fortify, which you'll see me use quite a bit. Alright, my Rapier is not level 20. I've been lazy on trying to level it up, but the Rapier is honestly an amazing weapon for the last boss. It has a lot of utility and it can get you out of a lot of situations for the last boss. Riposte is honestly the only skill you need. If you have a level 1 Rapier, the only skill you need is Riposte. You can do this. So Riposte is going to give you invulnerability, especially when the big meatballs drop. And if the boss ends up doing his heavy attack at the same time, you can literally avoid around 15,000 worth of damage. So I highly recommend using the Rapier for last boss. It honestly makes it so much easier. So get yourself a Rapier. I literally have a just random Rapier. I would get one that has the Sundering Reposed. It's gonna put more rend on the boss. So this is the Rapier I use. I just found it off the trading post. But the only skill that I would recommend having on it is Riposte, and also don't forget to put a taunt gem in it. So as far as my gear goes, I mainly use the cudgel for the expedition, but when it comes to the last boss, I switch to the Rapier, and you guys will see how that works. It works really well. And then going to my gear, most of the pieces I got from the trading post, so I would recommend just buying them off the trading post or running like low mutations, maybe like M1 through 3 if you're not comfortable or you don't have the gear score yet, because once you get past, like, I'd say M4, M5, you really need to start getting ward because that last boss really hits. So I'm just running full heavy. The only perk I really wanted to have was the ward. I ended up picking this chest piece up for 5k off the trading post, and it's more or less, you know, like a mini bisque piece because it's got sturdy energy and the ward on it. So really good piece there. And then, like I said, the rest of them I just got off the trading post. This one I actually got in the expedition. This is the name drop there, so I'm looking to collect the set now. And then I couldn't find a boot yet for the human ward. There was like one with strength for like 50k, and it's just no point. And then I switched my shield up to have sturdy energy, sturdy, and fortifying shield rush. Again, I don't have a shield yet that has human ward on it, so I'm running that. And then I got the Starstone amulet. Stamina recovery would be ideal, but there's a lot of flame dots and damage in the expedition, so I went with flame protection. And then standard ring and earring. So the expedition right now is nature, and so I did kind of a split. I went with 26% fire resistance and a 16% nature resistance. You could definitely go higher on the nature resistance, but compared to the fire, I feel like the nature isn't hitting as hard. I could be totally wrong, but that's why I have my gem set up the way it is, to mitigate some of the fire and to mitigate some of that nature damage. The last boss especially does a ton of fire damage, so if you have like a fire amulet and you have a nature amulet, I would definitely switch to the fire amulet, especially for the last boss. That guy will hit you to no end. My heart ruin, I go with the healing one. You can use the one that gives you more fortify as well. That'd be a good one. Make sure you have some human ward potions. The tier 5s on my server at least aren't that expensive. They're like 50 gold pop, so carry a few of those with you. Regen, health, and then hearty meals. And I think I forgot to show my sword, but I just use this one. It's from any ad. You can get it from the regular any ad. Highly recommend. For my buffs, I go with the honing stones, and then I go with the human coatings. I do the roasted rabbit vegetables for 40 con, and then the desert sunrise really helps with the dots. Definitely get you some of these. So one of the biggest change to the specs is that the grit has been moved to 300 con, and honestly the grit as a tank helps so much. That's why I ran 300 strength in the last update. It's not really worth, in my opinion, running 300 strength as a tank. Yes, the extra damage is nice, but the grit helps so much, and honestly I'm probably gonna have to get used to if I went 300 strength for the last boss, because he hits incredibly hard. At times I'm left with like 5-6k HP after a hit, so if you have it mastered, I'd say the last boss, definitely 300 con all the way, maybe even more. But 300 con's good because it'll still give you the ability to hold aggro with your damage, and it'll give you grit so you can just keep attacking when you are hit by the mobs and boss and stuff. So highly recommend you guys go to 300 con. I know the damage is a little less, but you're a tank. You still have leadership. You're giving your team damage. The whole point of a tank is just to clump and CC, so you got the extra damage for CC. 300 con, 211 strength. You can mess with dex if you want, but this is where I'm going to be tanking it. That is going to be the build for you guys, and let's get right into the run. Alright, so the strategy for the last boss is, what I like to do is pull the boss back into the corner that you guys will see here. And I pretty much exclusively stand here unless there needs to be some adjustments. Usually I'll pull out the Rapier and repose when he's doing a big attack on me. You can dodge that, but the Rapier's riposte has rend for my weapon, so that's why I like to do that. And then you guys will just pretty much want to avoid the meatballs when they drop. Just stand off to the side. I usually like wait 1.5 seconds and then I dodge, or you can just stand alongside that wall. That's going to be your best bet. My buddy Dark Fox, he tanks the boss right where it spawns and to the left a little bit. That's also a great spot. Basically any spot near one of those raised platforms and off to the side is going to be your best bet for tanking that boss. Now you want to rotate your cooldowns. You want to constantly have weaken on the boss for your team. That's why I like reverse stab as well. It keeps fortifying shield rush up and gets my defenders resolved down faster. And then you pretty much just want to rotate all your cooldowns, rotate your human ward potions as well, especially when the double meatballs come out. That can be hectic. And you just basically want to pay attention to you know, what the boss is doing in relation to your team, so you can make sure that, one, you have aggro, which the boss likes to go away from you. And what I want to stress is do not chase the boss unless you don't have aggro. If you have aggro, your the boss's bar is like lit up. You have aggro, let the boss do its thing and come back to you. If you chase the boss around, you're gonna be all over the place, your team's gonna be all over the place, and y'all are just gonna get wiped over and over. So just be patient, go through your cooldowns, your taunts, and stay where you're at in that little area. You guys will see how I do it. It takes some practice. I would recommend running the normal version a few times before you get in some mutations. Once you get past, probably I'd say mutation 2 or 3, you should have it down, because, you know, people are going to be expecting that you have it down, that you're not messing up, because, you know, people want to get to the higher mutations. So make sure you have it down before you're going into the mutations. Alright guys, if you have any other questions, please throw that down in the comments below. I'd love to help you out and answer any of those for you. That's going to be the end of this video. I'm going to have a full run posted after this. I just know a lot of people have been struggling with the last boss, so I want to get this video out for you guys as soon as possible so you can get those higher mutations before the end of the week. Like I said, leave a comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
No!